Hey, do you want a shout out?
Huh? What did you say?
I said, do you want a shout out?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You're just gonna have to speak louder from all the way over there.
I said, do you want a shout out?
Nope, sorry, can't hear you from all the way over there.
Alright. I said...
Look, man, why don't you just walk over there and ask it?
Okay. I said, do you want a shout out?
Oh, alright, yeah, well, that sounds kinda lovely. Yeah, sure, thanks. Okay, guys, I'm finally getting to it. I've had so many backlogs of toy videos. I think I have 45 sitting in my upload list to get done. I try and upload every second day. I like to think that we can have one day of looking at toys and one day of play. The thing is, a lot of you are great subscribers and commenters, and you've been asking for a shout out on my videos, and it's that time, and I'm going to make it so you can ask for your shout out in this video in the comments below, and then I'm going to make a video dedicated to those who wanted their shout outs, because gosh knows it takes me ages to get anything done. I'm a mum. Sorry. So what you need to do to get your shout out is just leave a comment below. Obviously, you're going to have your channel name shown. Give me a little description of what your channel is about so I can tell others in my shout out video about you. What toys you like, what videos you make, just anything about you and your channel that you want others to join you for. And I hope they do, because I try and subscribe to all my subscribers who have videos up. I don't get to all of them. You know, if I've missed you and you're a subscriber of mine, you tell me so. You say you're not subscribed to me. Why not? And I will fix that pronto. And I'll get that done for you. So now I'm going to give you a little tidbit of who I am and what I do and why I do toy review videos. So what is the toy that made me love toys so much? Ta-da! My Little Pony Generation 1. I fell in love with My Little Ponies. I even collected them before Generation 4 came out and they became cool. My Little Ponies for me have so many happy memories. I loved my ponies so much that I had a huge collection, and I would brush their hair, I would make stories with them. I would get jealous of other girls who had ponies who did not, that I didn't have. This is only a tidbit of my collection. Gypsy Rose being one of the most, the harder ones to find here. And I had so many toys. I had original LPS, I had My Little Ponies, I had original Care Bears. I was a real 1980s Barbies, a real 1980s girl who had parents who spoilt her as a 1980s girl, a real toy. 1980s for me was when toys really took off for children. We had a lot of toys that have set the benchmark for what toys are now, and evolved through the ages. Bing! And toys that were hugely collectible that went on to become something hugely popular nowadays as well. Girls and boys alike sort of toys, Transformers, things that have stuck with us and evolved as our times have changed and our play has changed. So what happened in between that very spoilt girl who had hundreds of extremely popular and collectible and worth quite a lot of money toys then, and the long period between collecting toys again. Dun dun dun. The teenage years. Yep, about 16 and a half, I went through the teenage years where suddenly wearing clothes, going out with people, wearing makeup and outfits and everything just seemed so much more popular. And all my toys, well, they got given away or thrown in the bin. And some of them were worth a lot of money even then. But the teenage years went for a while, and then came the 20s with the working and all that sort of stuff and rushing around. So what got me back into toys? I suddenly had children of my own, and suddenly toys became a part of my life again. It was about this time that with my kids getting into toys and play that I realized large collections I had, oh my goodness, my sister and I, between us two, must have had over 50 Russ troll dolls of all sizes. Things like that suddenly I became aware of what I'd done. I had given away my memories, all for the sake of sunglasses. So there I was, toyless, with a child. But luckily for me, my father was amazing, and he had kept some of my My Little Ponies and dolls and Playmobil and toys of that such all tucked away safe in his garage. So those all came out. Then, with the support of my husband and my best friend, who has been my best friend for well over a decade, almost 2 decades, and 2 little munchkins making it super fun to do at the same time, I started to recollect toys of my past. Now, I'm a stay-at-home mum, so these 2 guys here, my best friend and my husband, have helped me in so many ways with finding things, birthdays, Christmases, making it amazing so that I can relive the beautiful memories of my past with my children. But that is part of the reason I collect toys. There is another huge reason that I started collecting toys, and it has to do with this little guy right in the middle. It's hard to do when you're looking at the camera. So my son Blake is a special little guy. He was born with autism, Tourette's, and he is learning disabled. At 3 years old, Blake hardly spoke at all. In fact, Blake was so quiet you wouldn't even know he was in the room. With Blake's learning disability, learning new things that would come easily to other children, it was very hard for him. And my advice was to find something to give him a goal. And it was very hard to find something to give him a goal when at the time your son is obsessed with power poles. And not much else. He would build power poles, he would draw power poles, he would talk about power poles. And the only thing I could find to get some sort of interest out of him was taking him on long car rides where he could see those power poles. Until these 2 very amazing things are right here. Shopkins and Captain Underpants. When Shopkins season 1 came out, I had no idea about it. My sister actually got me into it because my niece liked it. But in Blake, it gave him something he was actually interested in. something he could remember, as remembering things is hard for him, and a list that he could tick off if he was a good boy and learned things. So what we did was we used Shopkins as rewards for progression. At 5 years old, he couldn't do his ABCs at all, and he was starting school and he was finding it very hard because all the other kids were racing ahead of him and he didn't know. So for learning, we made PowerPole ABC cards, and if he got them right, he got Shopkins. It started a chain reaction in me with collecting when I started this with my son and my daughter too, realizing that toys were something that kids really wanted. They really wanted toys. They wanted to play with them. They wanted to learn with them. They wanted to make stories with them. And that is why I started Shopkins collecting. And from Shopkins collecting, we moved. I was already doing the vintage toys for myself. From Shopkins collecting, I started to research the major toy companies, and anything collectible that came along, I started to work with. And then came Captain Underpants. Now at 7 years old, my boy could hardly read 3-letter words. But Captain Underpants books, he loved them so much that he suddenly wanted to learn to read. He now is catching up with his reading to other little kids. He's still far behind, but he can actually sit down and read a book to himself. And he could never do that before. So Captain Underpants is an actual superhero in our house. Because from a little boy who could at 7 years old, could hardly read 3-letter words, to suddenly now he's just about to turn 9, spelling 6 to 7-letter words. That's a huge thing for him because his memory retention is very, very hard. But this guy is a major superhero in our house. So I hope you enjoyed that little tidbit into me and why I collect toys and why they're really important in my family's life, as they have a lot of memories, and good memories. They're not bad memories, they're good memories associated with them. And also, if you have any question you'd love to ask me about toys or about me, feel free to. I'm pretty much an open book when it comes to these sorts of things. Or if you have something you want to ask my kids specifically, they would love to answer your questions. They would like to feature in my videos a lot more. I'm just a mum and I'm protective, and this is the internet. Angry Pokemon face. So I make sure that they have good playtime and internet time as well. Tra-la-la! Thanks very much for watching. This video is a bit different to what I normally do, and it's been a tiny bit cheesy and I'm totally lost. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.